Welcome to At Home with Music. David Paich is an American keyboardist, singer, songwriter. He's best known as the co-founder, principal songwriter, keyboardist, secondary vocalist of the rock band Toto. And this dates all the way back to 1976, 1977. He wrote or co-wrote many of Toto's original material, including some of their most popular songs, like Hold the Line, that was one of their first big hits, Rosanna, or Africa, You couldn't escape these songs in the late 70s and early 80s. He's played on 17 Toto albums. They've sold 40 million records. And he's also worked as a session musician. He has played on countless albums, and he's worked with artists including Helen Reddy, Boz Scaggs. He co-wrote some of Boz Scaggs' biggest hits like Lido Shuffle. And he's also worked with Michael Jackson. He's worked with so many people that I don't have time to name them all. I still have a few Toto albums in my collection, and back in the late 70s and early 80s, seemingly everyone was listening to Toto. Especially Toto 4, that was one of their biggest albums because it contained Africa and Rosanna. The purpose of this video is not to give a complete bio of this famous musician, but over the years, I've heard or I've read some interviews with him, and I remember him talking about how he developed his technique. And if you've ever seen videos of him playing, he definitely knew his way around the keyboard. He spoke of using the Hanon exercises, which of course can be very effective. I recently came across a short video here on YouTube where he was apparently putting on a clinic of some sort, and somebody taped or videotaped part of it, and he was demonstrating a piano exercise. So this was posted about 7 years ago. I'm not sure where or when this clinic was held, but I wish they would have recorded the entire thing, because anything this guy suggests that you should do to help become a better player, you should probably do. He was demonstrating one particular exercise that looked very challenging. So I decided to see if I could do it. So let's switch to the overhead camera and find out. Oh, and by the way, as I demonstrate this particular keyboard exercise, you can try it too. Okay, he started out by playing this big C diminished 7 chord. Now already this may be something of a stretch, especially if you have small hands. It's something that I can just barely do. So we have this big fat chord in both hands. And then what he did was he started out by playing each note one at a time while holding down the other notes. So let's just start with the right hand. And so what he did was he started first of all by playing just this C, and then this note without raising the other fingers. Very legato. And then the same thing in the left hand. Sometimes you have to start very slow. And then he was playing them both hands together. Now you can do it one of two ways. I think he was doing it this way, where he started with the little finger in the left hand and the thumb in the right. And then, see, now I'm lifting the wrong finger. Already this is becoming difficult. I'll start again. And then these two, this one, fourth finger in the right, second finger in the left. Oh, this takes a lot of concentration. Now, I think it's very important that you don't tense up, but try to keep your hand as relaxed as possible. See, I did it again. I lifted the wrong finger. This is a challenging exercise, folks. And that's why he is the famous keyboardist that he is. He does exercises like this. Of course, I'm trying to talk at the same time. Maybe that's my problem. Okay. So once you've done that, now you can do it in contrary motion. And this might be easier, I think. So with both thumbs. Yeah, that is a little easier to do. Already I'm starting to feel it. Now, you can expand this by playing 2 notes while holding down the remaining 3. So you can do something like this. Playing 2 notes while holding down the remaining 3. He did this with great ease in that little video that was posted. And then 3 notes. Oops. Nope. There we go. Notice I'm just playing it 3 times. And then 4 notes while holding down 1. Wow, what a challenging exercise this is. And I've been a professional keyboard player for a long time. I should be using this exercise. Then just... Woo! Now, this video only shows him doing this on this one diminished 7th chord. We could also use the other ones. Do the same thing. The challenge is lifting and using individual fingers or groups of fingers while still holding the other ones down. This is similar to the list exercises that I showed you in a previous video. So I'll link to that one. These type of exercises, while very difficult, are also very, very effective. Now, one thing I want to tell you, if it starts to hurt, if you start to feel any strain, stop. And then just kind of shake your hands out, get up, walk around, take a walk, have a break, get a cup of coffee, whatever you need to do, and just relax. You do not want to strain. You see, playing the piano, you're very much a hand athlete in some ways. You're working these muscles here in your arms. They're not all finger muscles. It's really these muscles back here that you're working. You don't want to overdo it. You'll develop tendinitis, perhaps, if you overdo it. It's like if you were a weightlifter, you wouldn't be continually lifting weights for hours at a time. When it starts to get too hard, you put the weights down and you rest. And there's the other diminished chord. You basically have 3. You can try all the different inversions and do this exercise. It's a real challenge. Now, if this is too hard, if your hands are so small that you can't reach this, then I'm going to give you an alternate version. Now, this is my own invention. This is not David Paich, but it's the same principles, the same thing that he was doing. Now, this is going to sound a little funny, but we're going to kind of scrunch the notes together, and we're going to end up with this weird sounding chord. It's kind of dramatic, isn't it? But as you can see, it is far less stretchable. Stretchable? There's a lot less stretching involved here. This lies pretty easily under your fingers. You should be able to do this. If you have a hard time doing that, try using this ugly sounding chord, dramatic sounding chord, whatever you think. And then you're doing the same thing. We're doing the 1 note at a time while holding the other notes down. And then we do 2 notes. be 3 while holding the other 2 down. And then doing, did I just say 2 notes holding down 3? Yeah, and now 3 notes holding down 2. Even this is a bit of a challenge, isn't it? Anyway, you get the idea. And then 4 notes holding down 1. So you might find that version of the exercise not as beautiful to listen to. I mean, everybody likes a diminished chord, but this particular chord, well, kind of like Stravinsky, isn't it? Anyway, that's just one exercise that David Paich, the famous keyboardist from Toto and from countless studio albums that he played on, that's one of the exercises that he used to develop his technique. And I'm going to incorporate that into my own practice routine. But remember, don't do it to the point where it starts to hurt. If you feel any strain, stop. We're not going for the burn here. We're just working to develop your technique and finger independence. This exercise is excellent for developing finger independence. All right, I think that's about all we can do with that one. Whew. That's not an easy exercise. That's why I tried to give you a somewhat simplified version of it. So nevertheless, I hope you'll give it a try and let me know what you think. So thanks for watching. If you have any questions or comments, please be sure to leave those in the comment section. I will be sure to respond. If you'd like to support my work, you can go to my Patreon page. The link is in the description. Special shout out to all the patrons of the channel. I appreciate you all very much. You can see your names scrolling by there. I look forward to speaking to you in the next one. Now, go and listen to some Toto.